Mwah. Aloha, everyone. It is Sunday evening. Well, it's into the nighttime now. It's dark outside. And it's 8:22 p.m., April the 17th, 2016. Well, I'm doing two videos. One is going to show all of my birthday gifts that I received for my 64th birthday this year, and also the birthday cards that I received. And it was easier for me to do it in two parts than to try to do it all in one. Now, when I originally got the package from my sister and also from Leslie, they were both combined in the same box. Um, I got that on Monday afternoon on March the 28th, and I was afraid that I wouldn't get back from my doctor's appointment in Brownwood to be here when the mailman got here. But we had just gotten back about, I guess it was 1:15. And as we got the car unloaded and walked back out, the postman drove up and we still had another load to bring in. And so I just got there just in the nick of time. And so that's when my package from my sister Pat and my sweetness Leslie, who lives in Canada, my sister Pat, sis, lives in Oklahoma. So this package came from two different places, but in the same package. So it was a very interesting package. And I will show the box of what everything came in with the video that I make for all the gifts that I received. So that'll all be included. Throughout, from the get-go, nearly, I guess around about the second week in March, I started receiving things, cards, and then gifts, and then even a surprise gift, even, in April. And so it's continued through March and through April, and I've had, even my children had kept apologizing for giving my surprise birthday early. And I told them, I said, hey, you're just carrying on the tradition that my mother and daddy started way back when I was growing up. Because my mom and daddy like to celebrate early and then celebrate on the occasion and then celebrate afterwards. They like to spread it out. They said it was because it makes it last longer. And even when I got a surprise gift, my dozen white roses in April from my sis Nanette, who lives in Indiana, boy, was I surprised. Again, I was just, you know, man, that was just something else. And I've even had my profile photo with the dozen roses and the vase that they came in with the lace wrapped around it. So it's been a very interesting, exciting, thrilling, blessed, wonderful, fabulous, awesome, out of this world birthday, because it's one for the books. It really is. One, it's my first birthday party that I could say for a party for my birthday, plus it being sort of a surprise. It caught me off guard when she called. She said, hey, what you doing? And I said, oh, nothing. She said, well, I want to give you a heads up. I go, heads up? She said, yeah. And so that was, my daughter had called and said that she and Lowell and everybody were throwing me a surprise birthday party, and for me to be ready because they're going to be picking me up on Sunday, the 13th of March. because they all had to work on Tuesday, the 15th, on my birthday. So they wanted to be able to get that all taken care of. And so, we had steaks and mashed potatoes and Hawaiian rolls, and they also had corn on the cob, but I wasn't able to eat the corn on the cob. And then a birthday cake. And so it was, really awesome. And then now my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, my son's fiance, was there. She lives in Australia. And so Andy and Gayla and Timothy and Lowell and Megan, we were all together, and it was just really a blessing. And that was just, because I hadn't had a birthday party since I was a child, when my mother and daddy would give me a birthday party. So this was my first adult birthday party. Yeah, I've had other ones. Yes, Gayla, I know you'd say, well, I gave you one when we lived over at the old place. I go, yeah, and that was special too, but there was just something about this one that just really, marked it and they all make a mark on me. Don't get me wrong. But we all have some that just really get to us in a big, huger way. It's hard to explain and to put into words, but I know a lot of you out there know what I'm talking about. And so it's not that the others didn't mean as much, because they do. But there's just, just something about it. And you'll notice on my fingers, I've got this on my left hand. It's white diamonds and blue ice. And then I've got this, I call it I don't know if it's the name of it or not, but I call this a starburst. And this one is from my sister Pat from Sis, and this one is from Sweetness, from Leslie, who lives in Canada. And like I said, on the video I make, it's going to be a little bit longer video on the one with all the gifts and everything, because it's, to get it all included, it's going to take a little bit longer video. So it's not going to be like a 5-minute video or something like that. I'm not quite sure how long it'll take, but, I'll make it as short as possible, but I don't guarantee. But it will also have a song playing along with showing you the photographs and everything. And it will also show you what I've got hanging up already. I've got displayed over at my front door, next to my front door, and then hanging on the pull for the light switch for my light and ceiling fan. I've got hanging my dream catcher, and then I've got dream catcher hanging on another wall, and then I've got the wall of cards, and then I've got the wolf hanging over with the dream catcher, and I've got the eagle hanging up over with my dog bounty hunter things that they had sent the first year. In fact, it was my first piece of mail that I got when I moved in here in my new haven. And when I saw in the package that there was an eagle, I knew immediately where that eagle was going to go. And that's because I remember on one of the shows of Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dog had mentioned, somebody had kept asking, or had asked Best Daddy, if you should ever be reincarnated and be able to come back on the earth, what would you like to come as? He said, I want to be that dadgum bald eagle so that I can watch, fly over everywhere, watch everything and see everything, and I can go where I want to, and I can just be free, and if I need to get out, I can just poof, fly away. And so when I saw that, I knew exactly where that was going to go, and I've got it placed right above, right there at the top, where it's like everybody in their family called Mr. Smith Pops. And so, Mr. Smith, Pops, you're here with me also. And so it's like I've got the whole family all right there. It just, because see, they're Native American as well. And so, it was just perfect, ideal. And this is my living room in my new haven is finally looking like a living room, because I'm used to having things hanging on the wall, and it really makes it special. And also, I will show this other gift that I got from my sister Pat, because it's hard to tell what it's all about for this particular one just on showing the picture of it. But it's got, as you can see, I've got my hands inside here. Well, that's because I can put it over my neck. Now, I've not done this, but I will do this on deal, so I don't know how this works. So excuse on how it messes up my hair. So I'm trying to show her, because you can roll it up and put it around your, like I said, it's going to mess up my hair, to wear around your neck. And then you can also, not sure, you can pull it over to keep your ears warm. Let's see. So, it's unusual. It's different. I've not seen anything like it. She said, well, that'd be good for when you go out to the mailbox. And she's right, it will. Because a lot of times, I don't want to just wear my cap or my little, I've got a blue one. See? Okay. All right. That was fun. All right. Thrill. All right. But that was one of the other gifts that was in my package as well. But I'm going to put this behind my ears. I'm tired of it being over my ears. It gets to bug me after a while, especially with it straight. I'm going to color it because I've got let me get it. This was one of my birthday gifts to myself. This is the color that I'm going to go with it. It looks real dark. It probably looks black, but it's what's it called? It's a dark brown, because the brown tends to not last as long. And of course, the last one I used was the auburn with the brown, the brown with the auburn burgundy highlights, and it's already starting to come off and everything. And so I'm going back to my original color of my hair, which is dark brown, but I'm going with the dark brown because the brown doesn't last on me as long as I want it to. And because I want to put it on, leave it for a while, and not have to do it again for a long time. So that's why I'm going back to, one of the reasons why I'm going back to that. And then 2, I just want to do something different. And I'll be doing that probably tomorrow. Because then on Wednesday I go and see my rheumatologist in Temple, and that's because my primary doctor here in town wanted a rheumatologist to look after my lupus antigo and my fibromyalgia and my polymyalgia and my rheumatoid arthritis, the RA. And so that's going to be an all-day affair. And I just ask for prayers and that the testing, if they do testing that day, won't be so hard on me, especially if it's gathering up blood, because I'm a hard stick. And usually it doesn't happen often, but it does on one stick. But generally, as a rule, it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 or more sticks to find a place in my hand, because the only place that they can get it is in my hand. And they usually get it right along in here and then also over here. And they have even gone and, done it in this area as well. Because they have to use a butterfly, because my veins roll, and what looks like a vein is really a spider vein, and it pretends to be a vein, and then poof, it's gone. And I've got scar tissue up in the main part of your arm where they normally give blood, take blood, but that was caused from the protimes that I had to do, because if you have trouble with blood clots, they have to check your blood quite often and do what they call a protime. And after so many of those, it can tear up your veins, and they bummed both of mine out during all that time. That was back in the 70s when that happened. And since then, this is what I've had to deal with, is when they say, well, we've got to put an IV in and we've got to, get blood. Well, my veins, as soon as they hear that, they just poof, they go. And a lot of the tests, they want you to not have anything to eat or drink. Well, after so many times of being stuck and figuring out my body, I went ahead and drank a little bit, only because I found out if I didn't have anything at all, I was there forever and a day on them trying to find a vein and to stick me and everything. And finally, I voiced up and said, I will take a little drink, a few sips here and there to have some kind of liquid in me. Otherwise, I'm dry as a bone and you won't be getting nothing. I finally had to prove that to them. Finally, they said, you just had, and I said, yes. And they said, well, okay. And so, they got to know me and I got to know them. And of course, I knew my body, and I had to prove to them that I knew my body. And so I was tired of getting stuck. And, I don't mind bruises. Those heal. But some of them can really take a toll on you. And I was tired of being a guinea pig like that. And so sometimes they can stretch the rule, but the great majority they cannot. So don't just opt out and do it yourself. Check in with your doctor and the people who are doing the blood taking and all, and have a good rapport with them as best as possible. I know sometimes you just want to smack them, but, you want to be Gibbs and hit Tony on the back of the head. Well, I've wanted to do that a few times, and finally I've had to say, could you get somebody else to try to stick me? I mean, I've really given you a fair chance here, but and I've mentioned where you could possibly get one, but you are ignoring me. So, I'm not trying to be ugly, and so, I approach them in different ways, and a lot of times, because a lot of times when usually just the one person can do it, but if they're having to use a butterfly and there's a person that is a hard stick, a lot of times for the one that is putting the needle in and then drawing the blood out, the other one needs to be holding the other end of it to help get it, because once they stick me, my blood runs slow. I may run slow, but even my blood runs slower. And so they have to be quick on the draw, not a pun on words there of an intention there, but they have to be quick, because a lot of times it will bottle up, blob up, or get a knot or whatever they call it, and they don't want it to do that. They don't want it to clot. And so, I've got to have a backup standing on hand to say, hey, come here, help. So it's just a process. And I've not ever seen this doctor, and I don't know all their procedures and stuff, and what all they're going to do, and if he's even going to be able to see me for all of that, but I feel sure he will. And from what I've read about him online, it's going to be a good meeting. So I just ask prayers that it runs smoothly. And like I said, it's going to be an all-day thing. Being in temple, not, the turn off and everything. So I'm glad my son is going with Gayla and I, because it's going to be my son Lowell and my daughter Gayla and myself, and of course God and my native forefathers, all going for this adventure of a ride to temple to see what we can all find out. And so, yes, I'll give you an update and let you know how it all turns out. And I know that afterwards we'll be going and getting something to eat, hopefully, because I'll be hungry afterwards. May not eat much, but I will be hungry and thirsty and ready. I'll be ready to escape and just enjoy being with my kids. But it's going to be an interesting day. It's going to be an interesting Wednesday. I hope the weather is not bad. I hope it'll lighten up on the rain for us. And the visit itself is going to be 45 minutes to an hour, but I don't know if that includes the testing as well, so I don't know. And it's about a 2-hour drive or so there. So, like I said, it's going to be a long day. But anyway, I've been wanting to get this video done from the get-go, and like I said, I even started a video on the day that I got my package on the 28th, but for some reason, somehow, it got stopped along the way. I didn't do it, so evidently my laptop decided, no, that's all. And because my sister wanted me to have it to open and do it as I'm opening each gift and everything like that, and I was just carrying on, and it was just rolling and going smoothly, and I was just in awe and surprised and shocked and crying and all expressions and everything like that. And so then to find out it didn't work, oh, talk about bummed out. I went from a very high to a poof, real fast, real quick, and I was upset. But anyway, I'm doing the best I can. And then too, I was on the verge of the end of getting over whatever bug I had all in February and part of March. And then after it was somewhat gone, it still lingered, and my body just wasn't cooperating on bouncing back the way I wanted it to, and or thinking that it would. And so it just has just what I can do, I do, and if I do, okay. If not, oh well. So that's why it's taken so long. And I apologize, and I'm still just, I look at these and I go around and I'm looking at everything, and I just, it it flabbergasts me. It just in awe. And then I've got, I've still got one coming, and it's just something. And it's just, I've got the best group of what I call, quote, my special family friends. I have truly been blessed with the best group ever. I'm astounded. And without y'all, I would be an empty shell. And y'all brighten my day. When I'm down, you seem to know it, I guess, how I write or whatever, and y'all know the timing of when and all that, and y'all may on your end think that, oh, I've not contacted her in a while, I need to contact her. It doesn't matter when you do, it's just exciting when you do. Because I'm thinking of y'all all the time. With every heartbeat, every breath, I'm thinking of each of you and saying prayers for each of you. And then saying even special prayers if there's special needs that need to be a special prayer. I pray extra prayers when I do pray, because in that way, if I'm not aware of a certain one, then it's already there. He already knows it. And so, and then when I find out, then I still do it again. It's just been, that is a given with me. When you are in my family, and whether you're blood related or friend wise or however close knit family we are, that's just a given part of me. I would not be me if I did not do that. So that is me. And so you hook in with me, you've got my prayers coming. That's just a given. Always will be. Oh, I'm going to take these off. The glare of the light shining in my eyes, because I've got the other main light going so that the pictures would show up a little bit. But yeah, y'all are just something else. Very thankful and blessed, and I love each and every one of you. And soft, gentle hugs and loves to all of you, and a lot of prayers and healing energy and alohas. I love y'all. Mwah. Bye-bye.